a place in the agenda where we start talking about solutions, things that are working, things to be thinking about, action steps. Following that, we have some council members, and then the mayor is going to join us as well. For this particular segment, I'd love for you to do me a favor, and I'd love for you to welcome Esta Bigler, the director of Cornell University's School of Industrial and Labor Relations, Labor and Employment Law Program. That is a fantastic title. And the co-chair of the Cannabis Workforce Initiative in a talk on the promise of good jobs and social equity in New York's cannabis industry. This is an important topic and a critical one to talk about it. So do me a favor, give her a round of applause, and the floor is hers.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. I am absolutely thrilled to be here. As he said, my name is Esta Bigler, and I'm from the ILR School at Cornell, New York State School of Industrial and Labor Relations, and I'm from the New York City office. Not everybody is in Ithaca. So please remember that we're right here. I'm a born and bred New Yorker serving New York City. As indicated, I am co-chair of the Cannabis Workforce Initiative. My co-chair is Amy Desjardins. She is the executive director of the Workforce Development Institute, WDI. WDI is a statewide organization focused on growing and keeping good jobs in New York. Several of my WDI colleagues are here, and so please make sure to stop and have a chat with them to learn more of what WDI does. WDI has a regional director in every section of our state, including New York City. So please make time to talk to Lisa Futterman, the New York City person, but my other colleagues are here as well. Cornell ILR is an educational institution. So what are we doing with cannabis? We study the workplace. We study work, employment, and labor. And our purpose is to improve the workplace and to inform policymakers on changes that need to be made. We like to say we are the preeminent school doing research on the workplace and providing educational and training programs to practitioners. So Cornell and WDI together, we founded WDI. Our mission is to promote and provide quality workforce development and legal education. With the passage of MRTA in 2021, which legalized adult use, let's see if I can get that up for you guys. There's MRTA. It legalizes adult use, expungement, oversight by the Office of Cannabis Management, regulates production, distribution from seed to sale, labor peace agreements, making it easier for unions to organize, very important. It amended the labor law, which involves adult use and making sure that people are not discriminated against because they use it, as well as the really important social equity responsibilities here. 50% of the adult use licenses, the goal is to social equity applicants and people discriminated against by the criminal legal system have more economic opportunities. So let me see if I can just go back. Yep. So that's what I'm talking about. So with the passage of MRTA in 2021, we have both an opportunity and a conundrum of creating a totally new industry from scratch, an industry that has the possibility of bringing 30 to 50,000 new jobs to our state. The economic impact on New York will be tremendous. The belief is that it will be measured in billions, not millions. And many people believe that New York City will actually be the country's largest cannabis market. So there's much potential here to grow good jobs, to generate income in communities of color, those most harmed by the criminalization of cannabis, and create generational wealth. Our collective challenge together is to provide workforce education to meet the needs of this new industry. Let me step back for a moment because we are all functioning in a legal twilight zone. We really are. Cannabis is legal here and in many other states. However, it is not legal in the United States and under federal law. The Controlled Substances Act of 1970 is alive and well with us. And that act says that cannabis is a Schedule I substance. It is the same as heroin. And the act says that it has no social or medical redeeming values, notwithstanding that we know under the Compassionate Care Act of 2014 that medical marijuana is really important to many, many people in our state. So it's a felony to sell it, to possess it, to encourage its use. That's the twilight zone. Banks, credit unions, you can't use a credit card to buy it, won't touch anything that comes from cannabis. Government agencies that receive federal money, universities, anyone who receives federal money, including parts of our government, put themselves at risk. We can lose contracts, grant money, federal student loans, and federal scholarships. So while I don't believe anybody is coming to get me with handcuffs, don't believe that. However, we all have to be aware of federal law, and in the work that I do, I can't touch the plant, and I can't teach anybody else in touching the plant. We know that New York State's DOL is working hard to meet the needs of this new industry. But traditional federally funded workforce programs like registered apprentice programs, which earlier were mentioned really as the gold standard, you earn while you learn, cannot happen in our state until there is a change in federal law. So we needed to come up with a new approach at CWI. Our first step in developing our program was to conduct a national survey, a workforce needs analysis. I'm a university. We have to do a study. With responses from cannabis employers in 50 states and Canada, a majority of which do operate in New York or plan to operate in New York. And please be aware, social equity employment is important. Social equity licensees are important, but there are big multi-state operators waiting to come into our state. The big guys are waiting to come because they see the dollar signs. We learned from our survey that there's a high demand for education and training resources that workers need and employers need as well. Targeted workforce development programs, boosting awareness of cannabis job opportunities, and specialized training that involves the legal rights of people who work in this industry and justice-involved job seekers are critical for opening up pathways to good paying jobs that are not just entry-level jobs, but where you can indeed have a career. We augmented our survey with what was happening in other states. We interviewed industry, union, community, and educational representatives. We wanted to hear directly from the boots on the ground. While business owners are seeking a wide group of workers for this new industry, our results show that hiring will be concentrated at the beginning in direct sales, retail dispensaries, which, by the way, leaving aside the cultivation licenses, which are issued by the Office of Cannabis Management, which is the state agency which is regulating this new law, and growing and cultivation. In addition, survey results indicated specific skills and knowledge is necessary. Plant knowledge, understanding the different strains, the ability to describe and recommend products for specific needs. One size doesn't fit all when you go into a dispensary. Cultivation and processing and extraction information, and understanding the regulations and the compliance issues, which are many and will continue to grow. In addition, we learned that in addition to these cannabis-specific skills, there is a demand for more general, what you and I would call soft skills, customer service experience, professionalism, leadership, good communication skills, reliability, and ability to remain calm in situations which could indeed be not so easy to work in. In furtherance of Myrta's goals, job seekers with criminal records, something that's very close to my heart, need training to understand their legal employment rights and be equipped with the knowledge of opportunities in this industry. To meet the workforce needs in this new industry and open doors to communities hardest hit by the war on drugs, we developed a pre-employment certificate program with a curriculum we believe serves the overall introduction of job seekers to the cannabis industry. We want this program to meet what I would call my students, but I would also call job seekers, where they are at the moment. Think of this as a pre-apprenticeship program or a program that gives job seekers the knowledge they need for entry-level job interviews, to get those entry-level jobs, and to further education and training. Our work is funded by a state budget appropriation. We are able to offer this program free of charge to participants and to community colleges, four-year colleges, community-based organizations, and you, workforce development organizations, as well as, of course, the City of New York government. Participants completing the certificate will come away with a general understanding of the cannabis market, process seeds from seed to sale, the jobs available throughout the industry, and the worker protections, which to me, as a labor and employment lawyer and a recovering union lawyer, are very important. The job protections offered by labor and employment laws, of which I can talk about for hours, and what the New York's Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act, MRTA, provides as well. It's an introductory program. It's not meant to replace a more skills-intensive program. In brief, our curriculum includes the history of cannabis laws, how they changed, and the impact of these laws. Everyone in this industry needs to know about the cannabis regulations. OCM is rolling them out. They're rolling them out, so we'll be constantly updating our curriculum with respect to cannabis. The problems with the banks, which I just mentioned, cannabis from seed to sale, the science of cannabis, the plant, medical versus adult use, health and safety, and there are going to be major compliance and security issues as well, especially because it's an all-cash business. We want to make sure, since employers indicated that often people don't know the opportunities in this field, that we give them a job exploration piece to this curriculum. So what are the cultivation opportunities? What about extraction? What about, I mentioned a minute ago, retail or ancillary industries, manufacturing, packaging, etc. This is an industry that's going to start here and just keep going. And my hope is that this provides the floor so people can move up as the industry matures and grows as well. Not to leave my piece out, we're certainly going to talk about workplace safety laws. I believe it doesn't matter if there's a law in the books. If you don't know you have rights, you can't enforce those rights, you don't have those rights. So, of course, we'll be teaching everything from wage and hour law to health and safety, equal employment law, everybody in this room knows sexual harassment and hostile work environment is alive and well in our economy. Criminal records and expungement, since MRTA provides for expungement. And what does a labor peace agreement mean? What kind of rights does it give workers, employers, and unions? As a broad overview. Our program really is a hybrid. We will have live online training and on-demand video-based instruction. Videos of training will be placed on our website for people to review at their own pace, maybe 2 or 3 times, if it's something that takes a little longer to learn. On our website, cwy.org. We believe offering the full certificate is a benefit to participants, but the curriculum is designed as a series of separate modules that can be repositioned and repurposed where appropriate. For example, if you have a training and you don't need what we have to offer, except there is a specific module that you could use to fill in a gap, to provide supplemental education. Or perhaps you just need to use part of our curriculum as a guest speaker. We're there to do that. It can serve as an introduction to recruiting students to workforce development programs in this area, or perhaps help them to decide which program or job training to pursue. As an aside, it's not in my notes, as an aside, I'm chair of the New York State Training and Apprenticeship Council. The number of people who call me up and say, I want a job in construction. And I say, okay, do you want to be an electrician? Do you want to be a carpenter? Do you want to be an iron worker? And they say, I don't know, because they don't know what those jobs entail. This program will provide people with what the jobs entail, so they know their own strengths and weaknesses perhaps, and they can pick the right place. So the program is made to be multi-purposed and to serve as many constituencies as possible. I agreed to come today to speak because we want to partner with you, the workforce development community. This is not just for us. There's no point for us to hold this close to the vest and say, no, it's our program. Nope. We want to partner with you as well as with community-based organizations, community colleges, 4-year colleges, the City of New York. Any organization that wants to partner with us in furtherance of our social equity goals and commitment, we want to partner with. And so that's why I came, because this is an audience that shares the same goals that we have. We can do programs together. We can provide you with training materials for use that fits into your training model. Our mission is to share what we've developed and work with you to provide a pathway to good family-sustaining jobs in cannabis, especially for those who have been injured on the war on drugs. A quick note before I say goodbye. We can reimagine this program for employers who need to have some of this same education, especially social equity employers who are coming from the community, MBEs, WBEs, service injured veterans, indigenous people. We can help them be able to be successful. And we want to work with employers to help them hire and identify people who've been injured by the criminal legal system so that they too can get jobs, whether it's in this industry, frankly, or any industry. It is a group of people with skills, knowledge, and intelligence. So in closing, I want to thank you for inviting us. I know that I, the CWI team, my Cornell colleagues, all of us, We look forward to working together with you to building a new industry, one that makes sense and one that lifts all boats, not just the select few. Thank you very much.